The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome all to another beautiful day at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com. It is November 5th, and we've got a market that's quite interesting, I would say the least, and we're going to get into a discussion of it shortly. Currently, we had a market that was down about 10 or 11 S&P points. Currently, we're off about 3 points, 2.2 billion shares on the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape as we start the show. So we'll keep an eye on that. But light volume into the pop yesterday, not a big surprise that we're getting a little bit of pullback here. A very astute comment in the DIN yesterday. I didn't get the full list of the IPOs for this week. I knew it was going to be big. I thought it was going to be anywhere from 10 to 15. It was at 15. Anyway, I think it was Angie said, well, maybe they're going to try to hold this thing up into Thursday when Twitter comes out. And I think that was very astute. But we'll get into that discussion here shortly. On this day in 1862, President Abraham Lincoln removed General George B. McClellan. Of course, I know just how many George McClellan generals there were in the Civil War. Is there ever been such a misnomer as the Civil War? Everything I read shows just how mean and nasty everybody was to each other. There wasn't anything civil about it. Where did that word come from anyway? Anyway, McClellan built up the army early stages of the war, but was an impotent commander who seemed unable to summon the courage to engage Robert E. Lee's army. Robert knew that he was fighting a uphill battle and had to be very aggressive, and almost always in playing cards or war, the aggressor tends to win. It was probably the deciding factor on the war. He put in a general that was probably fairly untested, other than fighting Indians, miserable drunk, and for all practical purposes, a criminal profiting off the war and after the war as president. That kind of, I don't give a damn, I'm going to war, especially in the fog of war, when we think about today where radios and everybody's linked and there's cameras on everybody's helmet. It's just kind of interesting to see, the fog of war and how different two people pursued that endeavor. But this was the day that really changed the course of the Second World War. And McClellan, a great book guy, just wasn't the guy to go and prosecute the war. We've seen that in the past where generals come in, shake things up, same thing as a CEO shaking up. But on this day in 1862, when a nation was divided, we haven't quite started shooting at each other yet, but I think there's a pretty big divide out there. Of course, yesterday we were talking on the air about 3D printing systems, and we're going to get into later in the show about stocks with very high short interest. And the reason these stocks have a very high short interest in 3D printing is because pretty much the values are astronomical, as is the promise for these companies. But certainly you want to not look any more out than 2 or 3 years. My biggest problem with a Tesla is that you have to go out and expand for 10 years to make it what it is worth today. And it kind of sounds like buying a pig in a poke to me. Same thing. If I have to wait for a company to go 3 years before they're worth what they are today. Too many things can go wrong, and probably sooner rather than later. But a lot of these stocks are very high short interest. DDD, I think, was 28 or 29% short going into this. Most of the other ones very similar, 20 to 40% short in these 3D stocks. And, of course, nothing like a great lie to go out there and run some of those shorts. Today's lie is IBM is interested in buying 3D systems, pushing all the 3D stocks up. But what can you say? The numbers on the screen here were earlier. I don't know what they are right now. I could go through all of them, but probably all of them up fairly decently. What do we have here? X1, yeah, up $3.80, almost 7%. What do we have? DDD up 3.5%. A lot of these stocks are very, very short, but I have a feeling that we've got a lot of these stocks that are in the last throes of a blow-off top that's going to be very much like the blow-off top we saw in gold stocks when everybody got very high. There probably is some interest in some of these big companies getting in. We talked about HP getting into the 3D printer space last week. They're going to have a product somewhere between the second and third quarter of next year. The question is whether or not they've got to buy anybody really to get into this business, and the answer is probably no. There's more than enough people shoving their way into this business and enough niche areas, printing the very small, printing the very large, printing out of steel, printing out of stainless steel, printing out of gold, printing out of chocolate. There's just so many ways that you can work this. The problem is which one of these companies does end up being the next Apple or Microsoft or Netflix, if you just think these things are blowing off to the top. But a lot of companies in here, it is not clear that there's going to be one and only winner. It's not like a operating system where you can get, what, 3/4 of the marketplace. Even the best companies, 3D Systems, SSYS, and some of these Johnny-come-lately IPO stocks are doing well. VoxelJet, which I covered fairly extensively in the Tech Insider when it went public. I know a few people traded it, up 6% today. A symbol on that is VJet if you're not familiar with it. There's another one out there that's going to be printing bio technology. Printing livers and stuff like that, printing new kinds of organs. Like I said, this is a huge range of products, and I think we're probably pretty highly overbought in this sector, but that's why everybody was short. And, of course, you get 30% shorts, and you get the big lie, which is IBM is buying or interested in buying 3D systems. You get a lot of these companies that want to get into these spaces, and the first thing they'll do is go around and say that they want to buy companies in this space to go look through the books and see just how profitable the business is. And a lot of times these companies have no interest in buying anybody, or if they're going to buy somebody, they're going to buy them on the cheap. But that's what's happening in the 3D space today. What else do we have? Oh, Rheology, real estate broker operator Rheology returned to a profit. Their brands include Century 21 and Coldwell Banker. We're going to see a lot more of that whole market, I think, after the bell tonight. Isn't it Zillow, if I'm not mistaken? Let's see what we have here. Let me pull up that real quick. I think we've got calendars, upcoming earnings reports, and Z real quick. Take a look at it. I actually wanted that one right there. Yeah, November 1st, after the bell. We'll go through some of these other earnings stocks tonight. Like I said, we're going to go through a great deal of stocks that have a huge short interest. In fact, there's a stock out there with 82% short interest. I have never seen one like that I can remember. I know that some like RIM 60% short interest. Same kind of thing with Radio Shack. These companies are going out of business. Same thing with J.C. Penney, but I think that's like 40% or 45%. But going to be tough. Anyway, Rheology, Zillow after the bell. Of course, we were talking about IPOs. Going to have a lot of them this week, and I suspect we could see the market hold up just long enough to get Twitter out the door. And going to be question, any reason Microsoft is moving higher? Yes, Xbox One. If you've turned on your TV, you're going to see nothing but Xbox One commercials and new commercials for the games that go along with it. This is going to be an Xbox One Christmas and a huge moneymaker for Microsoft, and of course one that the business that they truly do own. And it's been 7 years since their last new Xbox product. And of course, that thing's going to come out with a lot of new, really cool software over the next 6 to 9 months. So I don't think Microsoft has any problems in the near term. Arc Logistics Partners is going to be ARCX. It is and this is one of the ones where you need to watch what these IPOs are. It is a MLP, and that's a limited partnership. So they're basically selling the futures of and prices of refined products and terminals. Going to raise $120 million. Pretty much a good thing to stay away from those for the most part. Avanca Holdings, AVH, is a leading Latin American airline with hubs in Colombia, Peru, and El Salvador. The Great White Way, the Great White Powder Way, maybe? Anyway, certainly the Great Cocaine Airline, going to all those great cocaine destinations. $504 million, 27.2 million shares at a price range between 17 and 20. Barracuda Networks. This has been heavily advertised, and I think heavily advertised toward retail investors. They've been running a lot of ads that really couldn't do a lot for their business. I suspect that part of this was the plan to actually go after retail investors for this IPO. Somewhere between 18 and 21 bucks, $81 million. Blue Capital Reinsurance Holdings. This is a reinsuring company, and kind of weird to get into this with an IPO. 125 million, 6.3 million shares at a price range at 20. Not too interesting. And of course, from the people that brought you the Kama Sutra, Eros International. This is going to be. We're going into break. This is going to be a movie company for Indian movies out there. EROS. We'll be back, finish up these, and then we're going to get into the stocks with very high short interest.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Get back into some of these IPOs in just a minute. Wanted to remind you all that there is a semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale going on, and it ends the 17th. And you shouldn't wait till the last minute. You should get on that right now. Go to the front page of TFNN and talk about the details. But you'll at least get a 25% on what you spend additionally. Plus a online workshop with Tom O'Brien that'll be on November 19th. And that'll be focusing on trading EFTs and contain some live trading that day. Anyway, back to the IPOs that are coming out this week. LGI Homes, LGIH will be the symbol. This is a entry-level home builder. It's going to be in Texas, Arizona, Florida, and Georgia. Kind of interesting. Arizona and Florida, of course, some of the weaker housing markets. Georgia and Texas, some of the better ones. Kind of interesting. We'll see what kind of appetite there is for some of these other home builders, and we'll talk about one that's got a 30% short interest of it as a current one here shortly. But LGIH will be the symbol, going to raise $126 million by offering 9 million shares at a price range between $13 and $15. Norcraft Companies, another one in the same housing space, leading manufacturer of kitchen and bathroom cabinetry in the U.S. and Canada, plans to raise $100 million. Somewhere between 16 and 18 is where they're going to price it. Symbol will be NCFT. But give us probably the way that these go out will give us a good idea of what people are thinking ahead as far as the housing market. The big one everybody is looking for, I thought was going to be the 14th. Somehow until yesterday after the show, I still hadn't seen where they moved it up to the 7th. But Thursday, Twitter is going out the door. Of course, the hype engine is in full hype mode. They're going to try to raise $1.7 billion. That would, I think, have them valued at, $16 billion or something? Boy, I tell you what, every time we see one of these just makes me think we're just a little bit more bubblicious than the time before. But what can you say? But I think after we see Twitter come out, any kind of support for the market's probably going to wane a little bit. We've seen some of these companies come off fairly strong that had been IPOs like Facebook, and I think that money is going to probably, at least on the first few days, find its way into Twitter and some of these other ones. But I think there's going to be a lot of yelling up and screaming on Thursday, and I think Friday we're going to go back to the realization that we're going to have a Christmas selling season that's 5 days shorter than last year, and a company like JCPenney that's going to hurt a lot of retail malls and especially those other competitors to JCPenney as they get down and dirty and try to sell as cheap as possible. But we're off 2 points on the S&P cash. Not a lot of volume since we started the show, 2.3 billion shares. The last IPO was going to be Wix.com, W-I-X. It is a web presence solutions for small business. No big deal out here, 119 million, somewhere between 1450 and 1650. Other things of interest, and I know we've got our friend Andy coming up after the show, always interested in commodities. I don't know if he talks a lot about, or haven't heard him talk a lot about uranium. Certainly uranium is interesting. We're seeing a lot of those stocks moving significantly over the last couple of months after getting pretty much hammered. Uranium production is up 5% ahead of last year at this time, and of course really seeing a lot of push now from the former Soviet Union sectors like Kazakhstan, and they're really getting into the uranium, at least yellow cake cells of uranium. Canada, of course, is the second largest producers of uranium, and Cameco is producing about 5%, also ahead of 2012, would mean about 400 to 500 tons more than last year. Greenland has lifted its ban on mining uranium, and Greenland has 600,000 tons of uranium. It could be a top producer of uranium by 2030. So for all the talk about getting out of nuclear energy, we're certainly a lot more back into it. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about shorts. A lot of shorts with huge shorts interest. And we'll be going through those and then finish the show up today with some earnings after the bell.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. It's that time of year again, and our semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale is back. For a limited time only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and included in your purchase, you'll gain access to an exclusive 4-hour live trading event with Tom O'Brien on November 19th called Strategies for Trading ETFs, a live trading event. The only way to gain access to this exclusive 4-hour workshop with Tom O'Brien, which includes live trading, is by purchasing Tiger Dollars as part of this promotion. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN products and never expire, so now is a perfect time to get your 25% bonus. Don't delay, this will be our last Tiger Dollar promotion in 2013, so act today. For all the details and to get your 25% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase today while gaining access to Tom O'Brien's exclusive 4-hour online workshop and live trading session specifically on ETFs, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
A lot of stocks that have a high short interest, so well, let's get to it.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live.
Yes, and they think that short people have no right to live. A lot of times short people that are short the market get kind of a bad rap, to say the least. But we'll look at that. Of course, all these stocks have at least 28% short interest. In fact, one we've got has 80% short interest, and some of these stocks with very high short interest are even in the housing business, which I find very interesting. Anyway, we're going to try to go through these as quick as possible. Alon USA Energy, ALJ. This thing has gone up, tested the previous high with better volume, actually almost twice as good, and could see it come back up here. But if I'm wrong on this market rolling over here, these are probably the stocks you should have on your radar that could make some quick money on the upside with a big short squeeze like we saw in the 3D printer stocks today. What else do we have? A lot of stocks in this list are also the retailers of tween and teen clothing. Aero Special, ARO, pretty famous for running young 18-year-old boys around with no shirt in the malls. This thing's been going sideways. Not a whole lot of energy, at least to the downside, but I think somewhere around 30% short. At the low nines out here today, we could easily see a pop back up to 1047 into that gap with the short interest this thing has. Bill Barrett Corporation in the oil basic sectors has just been going up and giving a huge short squeeze over the last few days, so probably that number has come down, but probably not a good one to go out there. Looks like most of the squeeze is over in that one. Blythe, BTH, this is the one that's 80% short. You've got to keep an eye on this one intraday. BTH is the symbol on this thing, going sideways for the last 3 days, but we can see a move from 13 to 1717 just a few days ago on the 28th of October. So you can see how violent this stock is when it does get moving. One of the more interesting ones that has been making lower highs and lower lows has been Beazer, BZH. Let's see when the earnings, has that already come out? BZH. Take a quick look. November 7th. So this thing's going to be out the same day as Twitter going public. But lower highs and higher lows. This thing is getting narrower and narrower. Might probably have some decent action on earnings when this thing comes out. But remember, a earnings surprise, or probably even just doing okay, could be a nice pop back up in this one, maybe up to $20 or even more. CHE, which is Chemed Corporation, CME, another one of these. This one does have a higher volume low at $64.16 on October 29th. Nice little bounce out of here, but not a lot of energy into the short squeeze. You can see that they didn't have it going. Again, the same thing is a lot of these basic material stocks have been highly short. Good on the energy side, not so good on other basic materials like Cliff Naturals. This thing has actually gone over its last October 12th high of 25.95 on lighter volume. You had 16 million shares back then. You basically came through, well, I guess pretty much the same volume, 17 million shares on the first and 12 million shares yesterday and 6 million shares today. But energy is just a little bit more than the last leg back up here. But probably this thing could, on decent squeeze, probably still get up to 32 or 33 bucks out here. DDD, certainly watching this thing really rock today on that probably false rumor about IBM. But of course, when you've got 32% short interest on these things, they are going to fly. And we'll see what else we have. Freescale Semiconductor. I think this thing's got like 35% short interest or 40%. I remember it was a lot. Maybe it's a little less than that. FSL, this thing's been in a huge trading range from 17.44 back down to about 13 bucks. And, of course, tried to break out above the last major high on May 16th at 17.44. 3.8 million shares. This one, 1.1 million shares on October 21st, and then pulling back down. Heavy volume down, of course, on the 23rd of October of 2.2 million shares. But you'd have to keep an eye on this to see. You'd need to be down at about 14 bucks. If the market turned around, maybe you get a nice run on the short covering side of that. But probably others look better. GenCorp, another one. Not a lot here to see. This thing's banging around more at its highs But again, a huge short interest. Another one that is very interesting to me is H.H. Gregg. These guys, I guess, I don't have any of them around here, but I guess an alternative to Best Buy, the best thing that I can hear, and that's HGG for the symbol. But another one, plus 30% short interest in this stock. We've got to keep a eye on this. But going into Christmas, big holidays, this came down on earnings. I'm pretty sure that was an earnings thing on the 31st. Heavy volume down, not doing very well. But that being said, this thing has been slowly moving up. I suspect on some short covering. But this thing could probably, 16.5 could probably go to $18 with that level of short covering, no big deal. IMAX has been the perpetual short for probably about 3.5 months. People keep seeing the numbers in these 3D movies continually moving down. But a great deal of these stocks with high short interest are like the proverbial pot that does not boil when you watch it. And a little bit more volume up here, but when you look at the last 4 or 5 days out here, volume is just dying on the vine. Does not mean that these guys couldn't come out with some numbers. IMAX. Is that right? That can't be it. To the IMAX. Not coming up with an earnings date on this. I'd have to check it out a little bit more. Getting up awful close, though. And, of course, you had that huge volume day that we're showing up here on the tag, which was the 24th with 1.7 million shares as you got into this high. But the last 3 or 4 days of this thing going sideways doesn't look good. To Vinsense, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. We're just off 1 point on the 1.5 points on the S&P cash, 2.4 billion shares. So moving up, but volume really not moving with it. Trying to remember what this one was all about. Vinsense designs, develops, markets, and sells microelectric mechanical systems, gyroscopes, motion tracking, and consumer device electronics. These are sensors that go in the tablets and cell phones, that kind of stuff. This is highly, highly short. Came down on heavy, heavy volume, coming back and shipping into this gap down that was on the 30th that came in with 13.4 million shares. Of course, this thing tried to get back up on it. When was that? On the 1st with 2.6 million shares. Pretty much going to reject that for a while. Blew out all the lows out here. That would suggest this thing's headed back to $10. And the short interest would make you believe that a lot of people believe that also. Inter Oil Corporation, IOC. This thing has kind of bottomed out, would be one of the ones a little bit more interested in. A nice short squeeze if the market really took off would probably take you back up to the September 12th high at $77.50. And one nice thing is you really have tested the previous low out here with lighter volume. I don't see a lot moving out here, but this could be one of the kind of stocks that could really start moving if we had a breakout to higher levels. ITT, another one of the perennial short companies, and it's because of its pay-to-play education. It is a for-profit education company. You see their ads all the time on TV. And what can you say? It is what it is, probably one of the better ones, ITT vocational training. This thing has finally gotten back to this huge gap down. The question is whether or not we'll ever see the kind of money coming back into this stock. I don't think that split adjusted back in here, but we'll have to take a look at this one. ITT, certainly probably not one of the easier ones to look at here for a short squeeze, but interesting nonetheless. Leapfrog Entertainment is the company that makes that, I think, Baby Einstein, all that kind of stuff. They sell their own little pad-like products to give to your ankle biters. This thing, I think, came out with earnings today. Let's take a quick look at the headlines. Of course, a lot of short interest. Profit warning based on fewer shopping days, which is what we're hearing from a lot of these online retailers, saying that this year is going to be 5 days less than before. Again, we've got plenty of time left in the show today. You can always give me a call, 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. I'd appreciate your phone call. Maybe we can talk about some other stocks of interest out here. MILL, M-I-L-L, is Miller Energy Resources, another super high short interest. This one's getting into those candles that we only saw on September 16th. With 1.3 million shares, and not a bad sign out here. Very light volume back into this low. This would probably be one of my better picks for a short squeeze. The energy down is good, but at least at this level, it's finding a little support on a nice move in the marketplace. That could be a nice one. Nation Star Mortgage Holding Companies, MSN, another one with a massive short interest. This thing did break out from its previous highs. It had no volume when it did so, and it's bouncing around that previous high of the May 14th area at $46.91. This would be one that would be I'd be very, very nervous out here. Other than the last few days of very light volume. If the market turned around, I suspect the shorts are going to be right on that one. PPH Corporation, another one having a bad hair day today, off about $1. This one is right back and breaking below its previous support levels. Again, all these stocks at least 28% short, some of them as high as 80, so keep an eye on it. PPH, of course, this thing is now back into the trading range, and a close back probably above 24. With continued light volume in the market headed higher. This may be kind of 1-2 day trade that you could make some money on. PPO, this thing fell out of bed today. Let me get the headlines for it. Down around, of course, a lot of these stocks, if you've got that have super high short interest, there's a reason why. These things, and of course, you may get an operator that will run them. Eventually, mostly these short operators are, in the long term, are right, but you have to wait through some of them. Polypore International, pretty much what they were talking. Just looking through here on what they have. Just bad earnings, guiding down. And, of course, these guys make a lot of it's like a filter. I guess it's filter membranes is probably the best way to talk about this, about a filtration process operates two businesses, energy storage and separation media. They make a lot of these medias that go into specialized batteries for cars, that kind of stuff. It looks like maybe their technology, from what I've written in the Tech Insider, could be supplanted. They also are in the business of making filters for blood, for oxygenation, and if your liver fails, that kind of stuff, going on dialysis. But we'll take a look. Anyway, we've got a few more stocks. Give me a call before the end of the day at 877-927-6648.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
And what do we have? We've got a few questions in the den. You still, if you're very quick, can give me a call at 877-927-6648. A couple of questions. One was Westport Innovations. Don't know exactly what the question is. Certainly looks like this thing has come back down and made a bottom. The only thing I would have liked to seen is this last leg from $35.40 down to $22.70, have a little less energy. You had that huge gap down with heavy volume. What day was that? That was the 26th. Now this thing's back down to where it was going. Probably a good setup. Unfortunately, this is the kind of setup you would like to see in probably 2 to 3 months for this thing to consolidate around that $22 to $25 range and have this thing come out. But the energy was just too much down on this last leg, I suspect, for it to just turn around on a day. Another question was whether or not Chipotle Mexican Grill was making a 3-gap play. The answer is probably no. What you want to see is three gaps that are fairly equal over time. And this one's close, but what you don't see is the magnitude of the gap. This last huge gap is the kind of things that you really look for a three-gap play, and that is a huge monster gap, 20, 30%. 10% gaps, probably not so much. And that's, you've got, maybe you could qualify this as the second gap in a three-gap play, but the first one down here, not so much. Thing, coming up, opening up $15 or $12 on a $350 stock doesn't really qualify as a huge gap up and in the trading range. You want to see much more in a three-gap play, like the gap on 719, where that thing is nice and significant. I would have liked to seen yet even a little bit more gap. When these things gap out in three-gap plays, they are high percentages. If you go to the TFNN front page, I don't know if it's still there, the link to my three-gap play white paper, but you want to see those huge gap ups, and not just minor gaps up, but a very decent-sized gap up. And this would be the one I really like is the one that we had on the 18th of October. That is the kind of gap that you see before these things blow off. In fact, if you Google three-gap play, you'll see the TFNN link, which is probably the easiest way of finding it. I don't know if it's under breaking news any longer. But that's interesting. When we're talking about Netflix, which is the poster child for the three-gap play, of course, we don't have the gap shown here. It's in the PDF that we have on the TFNN website for the three-gap play. But we see that spike to 389, and you could really see the some symmetry in those three gaps. I also, in the article, tell you why the gap that's shown right around $300 probably isn't the gap up that we wanted to see to put the last little time in it. But if you can see the the first two gaps, that's what you were looking for on the third gap. You weren't looking for a little tiny one. You want three kind of symmetrical gaps up, and that's what we had on Netflix. Of course, this thing is starting to come back off the high, and I think I'm going to get one more swing out of this thing before it rolls over. My guess is in 2014, this company is going to have to figure out how they tell people what they're paying for the Disney content, and I think it's going to be monstrous, and that will probably make this stock head on back down. But anyway, wanted to go back. So we're getting close to a 50% retracement on the Netflix, but not quite there yet. Well, hang on for Andy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Basil Chapman has just announced that he will be hosting a one-day online master trader class. Friday, November 8th, Basil Chapman will teach you the essential fundamentals he uses when trading the market with his Chapman Wave methodology. Included in this full-day online master trader class is 1 month of Basil's daily newsletter service, The Opening Call, a $128 value, as well as a copy of his CD book introducing the Chapman Wave methodology, which usually sells for $249. Join Basil Chapman for this powerful one-day online master trader class Friday, November 8th, which will be archived if you can't attend live, where he'll give you a complete understanding of the Chapman Wave methodology and how to apply it to profitably trade any market in any time frame. For all the details and to reserve your spot while taking advantage of early bird pricing and saving $200 off the regular price, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.